guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. Today I'm going to show you how to thread your brows at home. So really quick, I'm going to jump right into it. All you need is a spoolie. I'm using the back of the Brow Wiz, scissors, thread. You can use any thread you have at home. They do have professional thread, but you know, if you have some at home, just grab those. And some type of oil. I'm using the Forsali Volcanic Elixir to apply beforehand, so that way it's a little bit easier for you on the brows because it does hurt. So let's jump right into it. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take the Volcanic Elixir from Forsali, use any moisturizer that you have, and just apply it to the brow. This is going to make it a little bit easier for you when you thread your brows. You want it to soak in first, but it hurts. So you want to moisturize your eyebrow area. You can do this on your upper lip as well. So if you want to thread your upper lip, go ahead and apply the same technique that I'm about to show you. So this is what I like to do, and I kind of like to soak it in for a few minutes before I start threading. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the next thing that you're gonna wanna do is measure the thread. You don't want it to be too long because it's gonna be really, really hard for you, and you don't want it to be too short because again, it'll be really, really hard for you to pull the thread back and forth. So what I like to do, just like a simple key measurement for anybody, is to take your thread and measure it from, just basically measure your forearm. So from here to here, and I picked blue so you can see a little bit better, and I'm gonna cut right here. Okay, now what you wanna do is take the thread, tie a knot. Tie the end of the thread. I like to tie a double knot because this thread is a little bit thinner, it's a little bit weaker, so it breaks easy. So I'm gonna tie it twice. So you should have the knot right there. So the next thing you're gonna wanna do is hold the thread like this, and then take your hand, whatever your dominant hand is, and do 1, 2, 3. So you should have thread like this. And this is the technique you're gonna use to pull the hairs. You see this part right here, the knotted part? Basically what you're doing is catching the hairs in that part, and it's gonna pull it off from the skin. So that's how you thread. So kind of play with this technique, and you're gonna want to pull your hands through like this. Something that's a little bit easier. Because essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna use your first finger and your thumb. See, like that. So now we're gonna go ahead and use this on the brows. Okay, so now that we're up close, we're gonna see. What you wanna do is pull the hairs in the opposite direction of how it's growing. So if you do the top of the brow, it's growing down. So you're gonna wanna pull it upwards to get the hairs. So I put a headband on because I have a lot of flyaways right here, and I want it to just get out of my face. So what you wanna do is pull the hairs in the opposite direction. So you're gonna take your thread, I'm gonna pull it up. So the way that the hair is growing, you're gonna wanna go in the opposite way. That way the thread will catch onto it. So pulling with the forefinger and the thumb, and then moving this back to get it back to regular position. Pulling like this, getting this back. Pulling like this, getting this back. Pulling like this, and putting it back into position. So I always like to do the top of the brow first because it doesn't hurt as much as the bottom. I'm just cleaning up any little baby hairs that I have. Okay, now I'm gonna go underneath. If it's easier for you, draw your shape in before you go in with the thread. So take like that Brow Wiz or any eyebrow pencil or even eyeliner if you want. Something with it's thinner so you can get really precise with this shape. And with the spoolie, and just brush your brows just to see if you're getting the shape that you want. And then when you get in the middle of the brow, you can just pull it sideways like this, whichever way the hair is growing. Okay, then when you get to the other brow, it's gonna be a little bit different. Because again, the way that the brows are growing. So this is growing down, so I'm gonna move it upwards. And then if you feel like your string is getting a little bit frayed, I guess is the word, go ahead and just get another piece of string because it's gonna be hard for you to grab the hairs with that. And yes, it hurts. Your eyes are gonna water like mine, but beauty is pain, people. Beauty is pain. It's a little bit harder to get underneath because you're doing it on yourself. Usually when you have somebody do it for you, they have you hold and like kind of stretch out the skin so they can get in there. But you know, over time, you know, once every 7 months or so, if you want to go back and get it shaped there, like that's fine. But if you want to just maintain, you know, you can always do this at the house. Just practice makes perfect.
And I don't like my brows too thin, so I think I'm gonna stop right there. Like I'm a little more fluffy.
So now what you want to do is take your scissors and kind of just take your spoolie as well, brush them up, and just trim the front just a little bit. Again, I don't like my brows too like structured, so this is how I like them. And then I just like to trim just a little bit over here. And if there's any stubborn hairs that you couldn't get with the string, just take your tweezers and you can kind of go over that as well. All right, then what you want to do is go ahead and just wipe off the brows. If you have some aloe vera, go ahead and use that as well. What I'm gonna do is just take a cotton round with a little bit of my toner, my non-alcoholic toner, and just go over the brows. All right guys, so after you go ahead and do that, apply your aloe vera gel just to kind of soothe the area. You can see it's a little bit red and irritated. So the aloe vera gel will help with that. I'm just gonna leave it alone and just let it heal. I don't have aloe vera, but I can go ahead and moisturize after this. You can take some coconut oil, something very, very just sensitive to the skin, and just apply it to the brow area and you're good to go. So I hope that was helpful and I will see you guys soon. Bye.